Hey everybody, Josh from Dicus Enterprises here today. This time we're going to be taking a look at a Pulsar 3250 watt generator. This is a single cylinder 4-stroke gas powered generator. It's an overhead valve, what we consider a mod motor, not one of the older flathead styles. And by far it is just as reliable as any Honda motor I've ever had. Generator and all, it's by far one of the most reliable generators I've ever had, hands down. I absolutely love this generator. It's lightweight, it's without gas in it, it's easy for one person to pick up, move around. If you got it filled full gallons in there, it's a little hefty, a little awkward for one person. 2 people though, it's not a big deal to pick it up, move it around, load it into your truck, anything like that. It's quite convenient. Almost always starts up on the first pull, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, choke, no choke. I absolutely love this generator. I've been throwing around the idea of selling it only because we have about 3 or 4 generators. Other than, powering my AC unit around the shop recently, it hasn't gotten a whole lot of work. So we're thinking about parting ways with it, and we figured while we still have it, we're going to do a little review video on it, because it's just such a good underrated generator in our opinion. So we're going to take a walk out back and we're going to check out what we got here. Alright everybody, so here it is. The Pulsar PG3250 gasoline generator. So this is a nice little setup in my opinion. There's several things about it that I really like. One of them being steel gas tank. That's a big deal for someone like me. I'm a welder and a fabricator, so this is the only type of generator that I can have out on a job site. It's the only one I'll take with me. I have another one out here right now that we're doing some servicing and some work on. It's a real good, well-known brand. It's a great generator in its own name, but it's a plastic tank, which is great for a lot of things we do, dirt track racing, work around the shop, things like that. But when we're going out on a job site where we're going to be welding and cutting, we need something like this. We're a big fan of it. We just think they're a lot safer. As you can tell, it's not rusting out. All the stickers have peeled off over time, which I don't really care about those stickers anyway. And that happens to a generator. The same thing happened to the plastic one over there. So it really doesn't matter what material it's made out of. Eventually, all those stickers are going to peel off. Another thing I really like about this is the fact that it's got dual fuel filters on it. So it's got a fuel filter down in here for when you pour or fill it full of gas. That's removable. You can wash it, you can clean it. You can see I got a little something in there from the last time I filled it. I'm gonna have to rinse that and clean that out. So it's doing its job. As you can tell, it just drops right down in there. And then it's got your normal fuel filter tucked down into this assembly. It's actually right in here. So 2 fuel filters. It's real nice. Does have an evap system on the top of it, and that way during the summertime, if it starts to get hot, fumes have a way out. It won't start to warp this or cause a fire hazard or explosion hazard. It does have a fuel gauge. Right now we only got about a gallon of gas in it. That's why there's nothing showing on there. Probably not even a gallon actually. It is a 4-gallon fuel tank, which I do like. Depending upon the load, you can get about 6 to 8 hours out of a full tank of gas on this. We've ran it powering our shop lights and the air conditioning unit when the shop first got put up. And I think we got about 6.5 to 7 hours out of it most days, unless we really had the AC cranked up or we're drawing a lot of power for tools and equipment. And it would run all day long without missing a beat, no issues. It does have a oil alert light on it. It will shut itself down and light up the light, which is pretty cool. You can't run it low on oil. And we've, kept up on maintenance on this one. It gets serviced and maintained about every 6 months, 6 to 7 months. We try to do it. Oil change, check the plugs, check the filters, fuel additives and stabilizers, checking the fuel lines, cleaning both fuel filters, things like that, checking power output, making sure the brushes are in service and are in good shape. So we've had this generator probably about 2, maybe 3 years now, and it's been working phenomenally for us. We absolutely love it. Coming down here, if you're going to mount it on a trailer or a camper, it does have a ground right there. It's got dual AC 120 volt plugs and a DC set 12 volt 8.3 amp, and we've actually never even used the DC setup, and it does have a breaker on it. You can see brand new, nice brand new, clean terminals, never been used. And it starts phenomenally. Typically, as long as you don't run it out of gas, it'll start on the first or second pull, whether it's cold or warm. We've ran it out of gas 1 or 2 times, and when you run it out of gas, it's either going to take, 10, 15 pulls to get fuel back down into everything and get it started back up, or just a shot of a little bit of starter fluid. 2 pulls, it'll fire up, and then it'll run pretty well after that without issue. So as long as you don't run it out of gas, it's very easy to start. It's lightweight. It's not heavy at all. It's probably, I'd say, 150 pounds, give or take, maybe a little bit more with a full tank of gas. I don't remember what the booklet said offhand. And it's a relatively quiet unit. It's an overhead valve, single cylinder, 208cc motor, pull start only, very easy to start. You can come around the front here, flip that switch on, and first fire it up, it revs up and down like that for probably about 2 minutes or so, 2 to 3 minutes we saw, and then it'll idle out and smooth out real nicely after the engine's warmed up. This is a cold start. We haven't had it running. We haven't really used it in the past week or so. And it smooths out. The idle runs real nice. You have it under real heavy load and a run like this, typically also you'll hear it, rev up and down and cycling, especially if you're really, really pushing its load. But fires right up, puts power out great. It's lightweight compared to some of the other generators that we've operated and we've worked with. It's really not all that loud. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not nearly as quiet as some of the, Honda quiet run generators that are out there. However, compared to some of the older model generators that we ran, or some of the larger generators, or even the cheap generators around this power range, this one is actually really decent. We've ran it in neighborhoods, residential areas while we've done railing installs and jobs in order to power our hammer drills, and they work great. Typically, the people around the area, the neighborhood, don't complain. We don't have any issues with them. The sound just doesn't travel and carry all that far, thankfully, which is really, really nice. would have let it rain until it warmed up, but it is a pretty chilly day here today. It's in the 40s right now, so it's going to take a little while to actually get it to where it warms up and idles out smooth, and I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch that. We'll go ahead and get it warmed up, and I'll shoot in a clip of how it's running on a nice smooth idle here coming up. You guys can tell, once this Pulsar warms up, that idle smooths right out. It runs nice, it runs smooth, it doesn't sit there and ramp up and ramp down and ramp up and ramp down. Like I said, today is a little bit of a cold day. It's in the 40s out here. It hasn't been raining in a little while, so it's typical. We've always seen that when you first fire it up, that it revs up and down like that. That's just something it does to warm up. And after that, nice and smooth. Not overly loud, not super annoying. Big fans of it. Shuts itself down nice and quick. It doesn't sit there and do what we call dieseling, where it blah, 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 and then finally dies on you. So, overall, we love it. Would definitely recommend it, and if we do sell it, we're definitely going to be sad to see it go. Hands down, we'd buy another one in the future. As always, if you liked the video, leave a comment, hit like, subscribe. Don't forget, check us out on Facebook at Dicus Enterprises LLC, on our Instagram page at Dicus_Enterprises, and now also on our webpage that we just opened up. Our webpage went live last week, so that's going to be www.dicusenterprises.com. So feel free to check that out also. We'll put a link to it down in the description, and we'll see you guys next time.